If you realize that that road they are tying is your money, you will not clap for politicians again. If you realize that every project politicians are doing, that they are not doing it from their own purse, you will not clap for politicians again. Stop praising politicians. If you know what these people do against your destiny, you will regret ever knowing anybody called politician, especially those who are there to make decisions. We have local government chairman. Why are they not fighting insecurity? What are the efforts the local government have made to fight insecurity? It is time for us to begin asking questions, the necessary questions that matters. Because what I'm seeing now today, what I'm seeing, if it continues in Nigeria, Nigeria is going to fold.
We've been telling young people, go to school, get educated, then you'll get a good job, you'll be empowered. But in most of our countries, the people who are living the best lives have no education. The people who are driving the best cars, no education. We have political cadres now occupying significant positions in government because they are loyal. Some of them are fantastically incompetent, but they are wonderful people. Unfortunately, wonderfulness does not cure the underdevelopment challenge. We have equated having things with being, so that those who have things are considered more human beings. They are not arrested, they are not harassed because they have things. They have Lamborghinis, they have Porsche Cayennes, they have big houses. So every single person now wants to have things. And the best way to get things is either you get miracle money in church, you go to the occult, or you steal. Most of the private sector in many African countries is really government senior ministers who at the point of privatization, privatize the private, and they are the owners. And then they are simply fronts for Western interests. Say no if you want, and I'll produce evidence, right? So when we say private sector-led growth, the people are saying, you are asking us to give the thieves more money.
If only our graduates will understand that the reason why most of them don't have job opportunity today is because of that politician they were clapping for. If our youth will realize that the reason why we have insecurity in Nigeria is because of that National Assembly member living close to them. If Nigeria will understand that the reason why they are hungry today is because of the president they fought for, the president they betrayed their friends for. If some percentage of Nigeria will realize that the problem we have today, that the solution is just very close to them, that politician close to you, that leader close to you, that permanent secretary, that civil servant permanent secretary close to you. If you realize that these are your problems, or these are our problem because we are all inclusive, we are the victims. If only we can realize this, we'll be one step away from the solution. If only we know that the solution to our problem is to stop our corrupt politicians, we'll be like 2 steps away from our problem. Yesterday, someone home called on me. I think for over 10 years, I have not remembered if someone have ended call on me in that manner. So this guy called me. He's not a guy anyway, he's a man. I know he will be watching this video, he will watch this video. The man called me and he was telling me that he saw one of my videos and he liked it, that I should keep it up, but I should not be so aggressive when I'm talking about issues that matters, especially when it concerns to politicians who can help me tomorrow. That one did not sink anyway because I don't really know what tomorrow may be. So anything can change tomorrow. Then he started saying that we bloggers, that we should be objective, we should not just come out to criticize politicians if we don't know what is in their shoe, that politicians are facing a lot of things, a lot of challenges. I said, well, I know we all are facing a lot of challenges, but the reason why we are so angry at politicians is because nobody forced you into office. You beg the people to give you the mandate. And even when the people refuse to give you the mandate, politicians, many of them will find a way to claim the mandate that they did not give them. And I told him, sir, one of the issues I'm talking about is, for example, I know that there was a time they gave you a project to renovate a primary school, to rebuild it. He said, yes. I said, that primary school they gave you money to renovate, someone told me and sent me a picture that the primary school is still leaking. The roof is still leaking up to today. He said, that is not true. That is not supposed to be true. And I was asking him, I learned that the contract they gave is to rebuild, not to renovate. And you painted the classroom. Yes, you removed the windows, but the roof, you did not remove it. They asked you to rebuild it and build more structures on the primary school. He said, no, whether I saw the contract they gave him or so and so forth, that this is how we bring false information to the internet and people will just believe us. I say, no problem. Sir, I learned that you use so million. That was what was in the contract. That primary school, does it resemble what they use millions of naira to renovate? And he hung call on me. You see, it is time for us to start asking necessary questions. Yeah, it is time. Because we are just saying that they are hardship, they are crisis, inflation. But you know the problem. You know the problem. And we all contributed to this problem. So many of us open our eyes and we know that this is not right. And we did that by voting people that we know that they don't have anything to do with our destiny. They will come and trap us, they will come and destroy us, they will come and do everything bad to us. That was about last 6 months. I predicted that Tinubu's government will be worse than Buhari's government. People said, no, you are wishing the man back because you did not support him, because you did not do this and do that. Now, what is going on? Buhari was using 1.2 billion. I'm not saying million, I mean billion, to defend the naira during his administration. I learned that these people are using more than 2.8 billion, that is 3 billion, to defend the naira. And they said they are floating the naira. In other words, they are not defending it. Someone wrote day before yesterday that naira is almost $5,000 per naira. That if the federal government stop defending the naira, that what is going to happen in Nigeria will be a serious crisis. But when we talk, people will think that, because you did not support the government, that is why you are criticized. We are criticized. We are talking about reality of life. People are doing standard. Many of them, they were not able to buy RAM. Do you know how much they are selling RAM now? Why is it like that? And when they are talking about the increment of salaries so that people will be able to raise the standard of suffering, the federal government, they are saying that it is not possible. But everything they want to do is possible. They want to buy yacht is possible. They want to spend 6 billion in building car park for legislations. It will be possible. If you realize that that road they are tying is your money, you will not clap for politicians again. If you realize that every project politicians are doing, that they are not doing it from their own purse, you will not clap for politicians again. Stop praising politicians. If you know what these people do against your destiny, you will regret ever knowing anybody called politician, especially those who are there to make decisions. We have local government chairman. Why are they not fighting insecurity? What are the efforts the local government have made to fight insecurity? It is time for us to begin asking questions, the necessary questions that matters. Because what I'm seeing now today, what I'm seeing, if it continues in Nigeria, Nigeria is going to fold. Nigeria is going to fold. Now, when I look at what is going on today versus what happened during the military regime, I am forced to say that military regime is better. During the time of IBB, they say IBB is not good, IBB is not good, but IBB, he was able to keep dollar below 100 naira. Naira to dollar was, almost matching together. He created SSS that we call DSS, he created road safety, he created so many things, build mainland bridge, create many states. There is nothing that man did not do within 8 years. Military regime, they are better. They are better than civilian regime. There is nothing you will tell me. Military regime, they are better than what we are seeing with the so-called democratic regime we are seeing in Nigeria. So, Nigerians will rise up for a revolution if they know so many things they don't know today. They don't know about it. Nigerians don't know their rights. People will say, even though you know your right, who is going to give it to you? Who is going to do? Demand it. And don't think that your voice is too small to speak. Speak. Don't think that nobody is listening to you. People are listening to you. If you want to complain, complain. If you want to speak, speak. And when everybody speaks together, that is revolution. So if you have been waiting for revolution to happen in Nigeria, it will never happen until you speak. When you speak, I speak, everybody speak up. That is the revolution. So stop napping for your politicians and start knowing what is right. Start knowing what the politicians are doing against you. Start knowing the evils they have committed against you. Start knowing what is going on. Start knowing how much they are using to tide your road. Snap the road picture, put it on the internet. That is what I have to tell Nigerians. If we do not rise up, forget about all these things we are clamoring. We need this, we need this, we need referendum. Nobody will give it to you. Rise up and speak.